In 79 AD, the Roman city of Pompeii thrived beneath the quiet shadow of Mount Vesuvius. Stone streets echoed with carts and footsteps as merchants opened their busy shops. Farmers arrived through the city gates, carrying baskets of fruit, olives, and wine. Children played in sunlit courtyards, surrounded by painted walls and gardens. Colorful frescoes decorated wealthy villas with scenes of gods and heroic legends. Public fountains poured fresh water into marble basins along crowded streets. Citizens gathered there to talk, gossip, and escape the growing summer heat. Pompeii prospered as part of the Roman world, linked by trade and strong stone roads. Nearby ports welcomed ships carrying fish, grain, oil, spices, and rare treasures. Busy markets overflowed with bread, pottery, jewelry, and goods from distant lands. Bathhouses filled with steam as citizens relaxed in warm pools and conversation. At night, oil lamps flickered while taverns filled with music and laughter. High above the city stood Mount Vesuvius, a mountain many believed harmless. Its slopes were covered with vineyards that thrived in rich volcanic soil. Farmers believed the fertile land was blessed by the powerful favor of the gods. Yet deep beneath the mountain, powerful forces were slowly building unseen. Small tremors sometimes rattled the city, shaking dishes and cracking plaster. But earthquakes were common in the region and rarely caused serious fear. Life in Pompeii continued with confidence, routine, and daily celebration. Few imagined the quiet mountain would soon unleash unimaginable destruction. In the days before disaster, strange signs began appearing across the countryside. The ground trembled more often, rattling doors and shaking dust from ceilings. Many citizens ignored the tremors, believing they were nothing unusual. Earthquakes had struck the region before without causing serious destruction. Yet the shaking now felt stronger, lasting longer than most people remembered. Animals grew restless in their pens, reacting to movements deep underground. Dogs barked through the night while livestock refused to settle in their stalls. Some wells began to dry as underground water slowly shifted beneath the earth. A faint smell of sulfur sometimes drifted across the warm summer air. Even so, most citizens continued their daily routines without much concern. Merchants still sold bread, fruit, and wine in crowded marketplaces. Farmers worked the fertile vineyards along the slopes of Mount Vesuvius. Few believed the peaceful mountain could ever threaten their homes and families. To them, the towering mountain was simply part of the familiar landscape. But pressure inside the volcano continued building silently beneath the earth. Molten rock forced its way upward through cracks deep below the mountain. Gas collected beneath the earth, building tremendous pressure without escape. The quiet mountain was slowly becoming unstable beneath its calm surface. Soon, the pressure inside Vesuvius would become impossible to contain, and the first terrifying sign of disaster would soon rise into the sky. One afternoon, a massive column of ash suddenly erupted from Mount Vesuvius. The towering cloud rose high above the mountain, like a giant pine tree. Citizens across Pompeii stopped and stared in shock at the growing plume. The dark column spread across the sky, turning bright daylight into dim shadow. Soon, small stones of pumice began falling from the sky onto the city streets. At first, many people watched in confusion rather than immediate fear. Few realized the peaceful mountain had begun a violent and deadly eruption. The falling stones grew larger and began covering rooftops and roads. Dust and ash drifted through the air, making each breath harder to take. Families rushed inside their homes, hoping the strange storm would pass. Others fled into the streets, searching for safety beyond the city gates. The sky darkened further as the ash clouds spread across the horizon. Thunderous rumbles echoed from the mountain as explosions shook the air. Lightning flashed violently inside the enormous cloud rising above Vesuvius. Fear began spreading as citizens realized the eruption was worsening. Roofs started collapsing beneath the growing weight of falling pumice stones. People wrapped cloth across their faces, trying to breathe through the ash. Parents carried children while running through the choking darkness. But the deadly eruption was only beginning its terrible destruction. Far greater danger was now racing down the slopes of the mountain. Night fell as ash continued pouring from the sky over the terrified city of Pompeii. Thick layers of pumice buried streets, while roofs collapsed across the city. Families struggled through darkness as choking clouds of ash filled the air. Many citizens tried to flee toward the city gates and the nearby sea. Others remained inside their homes, hoping the eruption would soon end. But the volcano unleashed an even more terrifying phase of destruction. Superheated clouds of gas and ash began racing down the slopes. These deadly pyroclastic flows moved faster than any person could run. The first wave slammed into Pompeii with unstoppable force and heat. Buildings shattered as the scorching cloud swept violently through the streets. People were overcome instantly as the searing gas filled every corner. The city that had once bustled with life vanished beneath darkness and ash. Within minutes, entire districts were buried beneath thick volcanic debris. Those who had tried to hide indoors were trapped where they hid. Ash and dust-sealed houses, temples, shops, and crowded marketplaces. The once vibrant city disappeared beneath a growing blanket of gray ash. By morning, Pompeii lay silent beneath several meters of volcanic debris. The eruption had erased one of Rome's thriving cities in a single night. Yet the disaster preserved countless moments of life frozen in time. Beneath the ash, Pompeii vanished from the world. For nearly 2,000 years, the city remained lost beneath hardened ash. The disaster slowly faded into legend as new towns rose across the region. Few people realized an entire Roman city lay preserved beneath the ground. In the 18th century, workers digging near Naples made a discovery. They uncovered ancient walls, statues, and strange painted rooms. Archaeologists soon realized they had found the lost city of Pompeii. Excavations began revealing streets, homes, temples, and marketplaces. Ash had sealed the city so completely that many objects remained intact. Paintings, furniture, tools, and food were preserved by the volcanic debris. Even the positions of victims were frozen within the hardened ash. Scientists poured plaster into hollow spaces left by decayed bodies. The casts revealed the final moments of people caught in the eruption. Some victims shielded children while others tried desperately to escape. These haunting figures showed the human cost of the disaster. Pompeii became one of the most important archaeological sites on Earth. The buried city revealed extraordinary details about Roman daily life. Homes, shops, graffiti, and gardens told stories of the ancient world. Visitors could walk through streets where Romans had lived and worked. The tragedy of Pompeii had unexpectedly preserved history. The silent ruins still stand as a warning of nature's immense power. Today, the silent ruins of Pompeii stand beneath the shadow of Mount Vesuvius. Visitors walk along ancient streets, once filled with Roman voices and life. Stone houses, temples, and bathhouses still reveal the shape of the city. Faded frescoes continue to show scenes painted nearly 2,000 years ago. Gardens and courtyards reveal how Romans once lived inside their homes. Graffiti scratched into walls still carries the voices of ancient citizens. These preserved details make Pompeii one of the most remarkable sights on Earth. Archaeologists continue uncovering new secrets buried beneath volcanic ash. Each discovery helps historians better understand the Roman world. Pompeii offers a rare glimpse into everyday life during the Roman Empire. The tragedy that destroyed the city also preserved its story. Mount Vesuvius still rises above the ruins as a reminder of that day. Scientists now watch the volcano carefully for signs of future eruptions. The disaster of Pompeii reminds humanity of nature's unstoppable power. Entire cities can vanish in moments when the earth suddenly awakens. Yet Pompeii's ruins ensure the memory of its people will never disappear. Their homes, streets, and stories remain frozen in time. The buried city continues teaching the world about ancient Rome. Even after 2,000 years, the shadow of Vesuvius still looms nearby. And the story of Pompeii remains one of history's most powerful warnings. Today, the ruins of Pompeii remain frozen in time beneath the shadow of Mount Vesuvius. Its streets, homes, and silent victims still tell the story of that terrible day. The disaster preserved a Roman city exactly as it was nearly 2,000 years ago. Through Pompeii, we can still glimpse the lives, fears, and hopes of its people. The eruption that destroyed the city also ensured it would never be forgotten. If you enjoy exploring history beyond the myths, consider subscribing for more documentaries like this. And as always, thank you for watching.